Hello there, Chocolate Muffin. So the PulseChain ecosystem is going to be unique because you've never seen anything like it. Because most of the coins on there are bound by liquidity, very thick liquidity, and it will probably continue to increase over time. So with the Uniswap formula and how DEXs work, you can bind ratios together. And what you can effectively do is you can link a lot of coins together such that if one coin goes up, it can drag everything up. But also, if there's a paper hand somewhere, everything gets dragged down together. Let me continue. So the Richard Heart ecosystem, you're going to have to know this. Most of the PulseChain ecosystem is bound by liquidity. There is a big positive and a big negative. So I'm imagining the future here. When I'm speaking like this, I'm thinking about 2025. I'm getting in the minds of someone like Jim Cramer. I'm getting in the minds of the Bitcoin spot ETF people who want to come into crypto. Maybe Ethereum starts to flip Bitcoin, all of these things, and people want to come into the ecosystem. That's where I'm putting myself right now. I'm 2 years ahead. So there's a positive and a negative to the liquidity bonding. The positive is that someone who wants to FOMO buy, for example, Pulse, so PLS, if they FOMO buy PLS with millions of dollars, they will even push up our HEX on Ethereum. That's right. So you can even see by the PulseX yield farms, there is a HEX from Ethereum pair here with WPLS, and the liquidity is already $1 million. So this is going to continue to increase over time. So isn't that fantastic? So now that you understand this, now you know why there is no point being a poo-poo face. If you're a poo-poo face and you say, well, I don't even know, it's HEX on Ethereum kind of thing. If you want to act like that, you can take that chance. I've already made just a recent video. I'm buying it because the liquidity is going to be bound. It's going to be dragged up. Now, we don't know how much it'll be dragged up. Is it going to be 1 for 1? That is something you can't control. You see, if Pulse does a 3x and then HEX on Ethereum starts to go up, it can be forced down. It can. So even though this chart is cheap and we hope it keeps going up and you are a baby doll chocolate munchkin, okay, I want you to know that as it goes up, let's say there is a big FOMO buyer in PLS. Let's say a big exchange wants to come in. CZ. CZ gets a libido pump. He's like, you know what? I like Ricardo Corazon and I'm a fan of Ducks. I want to place a $20 million bid into PLS. If he does that, yes, our HEX on Ethereum gets bid as well. But there are still sharks and whales in HEX and Ethereum. If they decide that they want to get out, they will be sucking out this liquidity. You see this liquidity of $1 million? They will be taking from it. And then what they'll be able to do is this will thin out and they'll be able to adjust the ratio at a different price. Effectively, what they mean is even though it moves up 1 for 1, so if the ratio, and I can give you an example here. So you get the PulseChain DEX, right? So here I have HEX and PulseX, for example. So actually, you know what? Let's just use the perfect one we were using. HEX and PWS right here. So this is actually it, okay? This is HEX on PulseChain and WPLS. But this is the USD price. If you go to DEX Screener, you press this button. Do you see this? You see how this is moving? This is the actual spread price between them, okay? See how it's going nowhere? Doji, doji, doji. So it's possible this just stays here forever. If it stays here forever, let's say it literally stays here for 2 years, and then you tell me that PLS went up 50x from here, well, that also means HEX here also went up 50x. And it went from whatever the price is, 1.8 cents, went to like 25 cents, right? So, and if it was 3 cents and it went up to 50x, right, that's going to be $1.50. But at some point, somebody with a big hand can decide to destroy this if they want. So let's say it's possible, right? It's possible. Let's even zoom in here. It's possible that maybe we're in 2 years from now and one of the big whales, they just want to cash out of HEX. They actually want to rotate out. They're using the liquidity. They can push this like down very, very hard. Okay, so that is possible. They can affect that. But we're hoping as the whole ecosystem grows that we're able to absorb a lot of these people. So there is that positive that we go up we go on the way up. But now you know it's double-edged sword. All right. So I'm going to continue. You can see the negative part. The negative part is that even Wallet DO1, who did a $14 million sacrifice for PulseX, even if Wallet DO1 paper hands PLSX, he will destroy your Pulse holdings. He will even destroy our HEX on Ethereum holding. Yes, he will. So if someone like that of that magnitude wants to just, let's say PulseX does 100x, it taps 100x, he wakes up, he goes, I'm clicking sell minus 75% today. See you later. I'm extracting 700 million from the liquidity pool. You guys are all done, right? If he decides to do that, you won't wake up with just one red candle. It will be red everywhere because of the liquidity bonding. I can map this out for you again, and I'll explain this for you again. So the liquidity pairs, there are all these tokens. Okay, so this is HEX, this is the other HEX, this is PLS, and this is PulseX. Okay, so you have each different coin. Okay, circle, and we have a little square. So 4 different coins, and they have different ratios between them. All right, so they're bounded. It's literally like atoms here. They're all linking up. Woo, we're partying together. All of this links somewhere. So I'm going to draw a circle. All of these actually get linked to one main artery vein. So all of these is going to be a triple bonding here. Triple bonding of friendship. And you might have, there's going to be one spear. It'll be PLS. Let's write DAI, die. So that's actually what it might be. But, if you're just watching this video, DAI is a USD stablecoin. So, and then we'll write PLS USD. Means the same thing. So now everything routes through PLS. So if PLS wants to, if people want to buy this up and FOMO and it gets dragged up, all of these get dragged up with it. It's literally, they're all moving up together. You see this mouse action? Woo, we're getting dragged up together. What about if there's a paper hand somewhere? Well, unfortunately, we're all getting flushed. It's over. So you can say, yes, we are more volatile together. We are like this beach ball, bouncy ball. We're moving in together. And that's it. We can't do anything about this. This is the Richard Heart ecosystem. This is what's happening. So yeah, it is possible. Not even possible. Mathematically, this is the formula. Your HEX on Ethereum will pay the price. Mine too, right? Because I own it too. Our HEX on Ethereum will get crushed if even somebody sells PulseX. That's just the sad truth about it. But on the plus side, if you are just bullish on the ecosystem, you benefit all over. All right. So now that you have this understanding, you want to think, okay, do you need to change your strategy? I just want you to think about this differently, okay? Because I'm here to protect you. I'm here, baby doll, baby cake, friendship, strong posture. Let's go. This just means, okay, it's going to be controversial. In 2 years, 2.5 years, when the crowd is yelling at me that I am not bullish enough, when the crowd is trying to slap my face, squirt me with water pistols, they're trying to throw banana peels in front of my footpath, all of these will be thrown my way and everyone will be demanding me to change my targets to a 1000x. And I will also be called stupid because people will say, hey, you can rotate out into HEX, the super safe coin. That's what they're going to be saying. So they'll be saying, yeah, okay, maybe one of the coins went euphoric. Maybe PulseX is euphoric. Maybe HEX on PulseChain is euphoric. One of them is euphoric. What people will falsely assume is that you can then rotate to something else. So what they might say is they go, hey, man, I made like a 50x in my PulseX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of my profits into HEX, and then I'm going to take the half profits other way else. Okay, so this is what I'm effectively telling you is, you see these PulseX that you have here? You taking profits, quote unquote, into HEX, you aren't rotating profits. You're staying in the ecosystem. All right. Now you understand this. So if anything poops lower, you're all going down together. You did not exit the ecosystem. You are still bound by the liquidity. You're all latched on. Just so you know, you're still leveraged basically on crypto at this point. So this is how you approach it. A lot of people are going to also disagree with this, but it's okay. I care about you when we hit this point, and I want you to think, okay, 95% down's a long way, man. And I want you to know that we are now halfway through 2023. We've been collapsing since 2021, all right? So it's been a freaking long time. It's been like, what, 20 months or 1.5? It's going to be 2 years soon. So when you go down, not only do you go down and bottom out, you stay down. So I'm thinking about our future. I'm thinking about, let's say we actually do fluke this and we get a 2025 Euphoria bull market, and if you don't play this right, you're not going to sell the top exactly. But if you are in the la la land, then unfortunately 2026 will be one of the worst years of your life. And then when we finally bottom, 2027 is going to be exactly where we are now, where you're like, okay, we've bottomed, but how are your bags looking? I mean, HEX is still down minus 96% if you add up the PHEX and EHEX. So it's not that pretty. It's very unfortunate. So that's a lot of time between now and 2027. Oh, man, that's a long time. And then you got to pray for the next cycle. So you get this wrong, yeah, I'm saying it's all over. It really is all over. You're going to survive, but these diminishing returns, they're critical. All right, so now you understand this liquidity bonding. You know what? You might say to me as well, you go, hey, what if people removed the liquidity? What if they just made them USDC? Very good question. So what if we actually didn't use the Uniswap formula? What if everything was just a USDC pool? So instead of binding each other, what if they just existed together? Here is where market experience comes. All right, and this is where I will tell you, just as fast as I deleted that circle, I will now re-add it again because it means nothing. That's right. I believe HEX on Ethereum, HEX on PulseChain, PLS, and PLSX, they are the Richard Hart coins. You're basically buying Richard Hart NFT. Richard Hart NFT. I'm just having fun here, okay? This is it. You're basically buying Richard Hart NFT. So whatever happens, this is the critical move that's going to come to your portfolio. If something bad happens to one of the projects, if one of the volumes slows down, if there's somebody who just paper hands, everything's going to get infected. Everything. Just like how the US S&P 500 trickles down into tech stocks affect crypto comes and affects us on Uniswap, and even though we have nothing to do with Ethereum in the liquidity pool, we still get linked psychologically. So I watched in 2022, even though there was no liquidity bonding, people would wake up, see a red candle on a 60-minute chart, and they would sell their HEX, and they would sell other coins that weren't bound by the liquidity. So effectively, instead of the Uniswap formula giving the liquidity, instead of this happening, people manually did it. So don't you ever forget that. So instead of, I'm going to say this again, instead of the Uniswap formula giving the ratio and saying, yes, we're going to move together up and down. Okay, we remove that. I watched many people wake up, see a bit of bad news. They weren't even reading the bad news, by the way. They just saw a red candle on Bitcoin and Ethereum and just felt bad. And that's it. See you later. Everything's going down together. They would just click sell. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm too scared. And that's what would happen. So I will, if you see me tweet, I will call this manual correlation. All right. So if it was automatic correlation, it would be the liquidity bonding. You know, it's like, oh, PLS went up, so did HEX. PLS went down, so did HEX. That is automatic. This is manual. And you got to see HEX dropped minus 97%, even with all the coins locked, even with everything going on for it. It was not immune from this. So this is the risk you're going to take. Now, the cool thing is, it's 2023. By the time 2.5 years comes from now, you're going to forget this video. 99% of people, I'm going to be drowned out by the new crowd. Everybody's going to come in for new things. And there is actually no edge I'm losing by telling you this. But I promise you, there will come a day where everyone's probably going to wish they had watched this video, because it ain't going to be pretty. But also, there's also going to be people, let's be optimistic. There's going to be people in 2025 who are going to get so disappointed by Bitcoin and so disappointed by the blue chips. They're literally going to say, oh my God, these stupid peanut brains in their religious Ponzi cult, they just bought the Richard Hart coins and they did nothing and they killed it. They absolutely killed it. And I'll say, yes, yeah, we deserve it, because everybody says it's a scam. We got the highest upside. We know we're not a scam. People are going to be saying that in the future. Question is, do you have diamond hands to even make it? I know you do, because your slippers are fluffy and you're a baby doll baby cake. Tell mom and dad you love them. I'll catch you in the next one, friends.